Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another Untitled podcast. Today is a SoloCast. Yes, it's a SoloCast on today is Friday. It's pretty late at night, I didn't really have anything planned this week, I had a pretty hectic first few days of the week. But then, like, towards the end, it just simmered down, and it was very chill, it was a very chill experience, so it was fun. It was a fun week, I should say that. But as for everybody else, Thursday and Friday I was unable to get a hold of people because everybody was getting ready for the 3-day weekend, or that they had other things planned, and I was just like, I can do a solo cast. I haven't done one in a while. I'm pretty tired though. I don't know, I feel really drained. Physically drained. Sorry, I just keep burping. My bad. However, I guess we can talk into. I guess not. I don't want to. Okay. So, recently, Wednesday, actually, I went to Awana, which is basically just a place to where I go sing and perform for kids and teach them and preach to them about God and Jesus and about the church, fun stuff like that. And we were on our break time. It was a long break time. It was my first time back in about a month or two. I was chilling there and I went on Twitter and I saw a headline that read 17 shot in school shooting in Florida. I was like, wow, that's crazy. That's like, wow, that's a lot of school shootings, like, this year alone. And everybody's like, oh, you're blowing it out of proportion. Like, I saw people on Twitter be like, it's not that bad. It's like, what? We shouldn't be having, like, any school shootings to begin with, or any, like, shootings in general just out of the blue. But, you saying how bad, it shouldn't be that bad. No, it is bad. Just because you think that there's worse shootings, that doesn't add up. I was so upset whenever I saw that. And I was just like, wow, I did not expect that. And it was on Valentine's Day too, and on Ash Wednesdays. As a lot of things went on during that day for me, at least. I was more focused on two things that day, and I did those two things. I didn't really expect anything like this to happen, which is it blows my mind. That's pretty crazy. But recently, as of today, which is Friday, as of recording this goes out Saturday. Sorry to blow your mind, but I don't record this Saturday morning and upload it, the minutes after, because it takes me a while to render videos. But this one's going to be a pretty short podcast because I'm tired, and solo casts are pretty short unless I have something very important to talk about. But back to the topic at hand. Here in Texas, my friend Kane, it was just me and him today. We're just chilling, rekindling our friendship, which always gets broken. No, we're good friends. It's all a joke. But he kept showing me these updates from he has a news app. I think the Fox News app, or news. He has some news apps that keeps him up to date with anything that pops up or something. It's just pretty handy just in case something happens. And I think today he showed me about 4 to 5 about potential school shooters. And it's not like they were saying stuff like, it was not like they caught him like before he did anything, but they were just like threats about wanting to shoot up the school or anything like that, which blows my mind. That who would do that? Who? And after just a terrible thing that happened like 2 days before today, 2 days before Friday, just an awful shooting, which is in like I think I saw a list on Twitter, and how Columbine, like any school shooting is disgusting. It's awful. It's not even in the top 10, worst shootings or massacres in America anymore. It's like not even in the top 10. This Florida list made it on there. I think it was like number 8 or something. That blew my mind to look at that list, and looking over like, wow, that's one of the most influential, like one of the most groundbreaking school shootings. It's not even on a top 10 like all time. Like, this is the worst event. There's 10 events, and I think even more above it, like a few more above it, that are worse than that, which it blows my mind. I remember and seeing another thing on Twitter. I was on Twitter a lot. Okay, the only things that I really talk about are either games or Smash, which I'll talk about Smash later. But my Twitter is just full of Smash stuff about a character named Bayonetta, which I'll get into later, really quick, because I'd rather not bore people about that. About, we should ban her from this game because she's broken and all that. And I was just like, why do y'all care about this character being banned with his like more serious problems? Like, we should address gun laws. In my opinion, I don't own a gun. My parents don't own a gun. I don't think any of my like really close family owns a gun. So I personally think we should have stricter gun laws. And then, there's a lot of counter arguments, and I'm obviously, I'm giving my opinion just based on not even just recent events, but just tons of events and shootings that, like, it's just so easy to give out and just to give. Oh, sorry, my bad guys, I got a text. It just blows my mind at how, insane it is to get a gun. Like, it's too easy. Like, why is it so easy? And I looked up the process like a while back. I don't know if it changed. Hopefully it changed. I checked like a year ago, and it's so easy. It's like, if certain places don't even require like background checks, and the places that do, they just judge based on the community, which is what? No. If I'm gonna be handing out a weapon that could murder people, I would at least be like, maybe we should do more than just a background check. I mean, okay, let's do like some like psychiatric test to make sure that he's stable or she's stable. I'm not gendering anybody. Can't talk about genders anymore nowadays. Without people bringing up genders, and like I don't. It's just so hard to talk about things nowadays without people bringing something else up, like, oh, what? You sexist? I'm like, no. I just say he, because I'd rather somebody call me she or her something than rather just call me it. Because I'm like, if you call me a she or her, then they're like pretty. I'll feel a little bit happy. But I'd rather them identify me as a gender than for them just to call me it. Because I'm like, am I not even good enough to receive a gender? What? Just call me a girl. Just call me something. Just don't call me it, because that makes me feel like I'm not human. That makes me feel pretty bad. I went off topic. Wow, what was I talking about? Oh, back to, yeah. So I mean, obviously, this topic can go back and forth. There's all these goods and not good. The Australia thing, which I was like, wow, it's good on Australia. But then people are like, well, I mean, Australia, nobody cares about Australia. But what? Like, it's kind of a good example. Like, we need to do something. Something needs to happen. I'm a faith man. I believe in the Bible. All that good stuff. But it's scenarios like this deserve more than just send your prayers. Like, it's good, and obviously for other people that don't believe, they don't really care. But for me, it's like it's good that you're sending your prayers, and that you're keeping people in your thoughts. It's good. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that, but stuff like this deserves more action than just thoughts and prayers. Having thoughts and prayers, good. Like, I keep thoughts and prayers and for things like this too. But like, it's a more matter than just let's give the people that suffer sympathy. The people that go through, losing their children or losing family or just being affected by shootings in general deserve more than just, oh, I'm sorry for you. I'll make sure to keep you in my thoughts. They deserve action. They deserve something. They deserve something, and that's probably to make sure that other people don't feel the way that they do. They want to make sure that other parents keep their children safe. You know, it's more than just. It's more than just. This is something that it surprises me super duper hard how like far back we've had to reach to look at all these past school shootings and just shootings in general, just how like unaffected we are as a community. Because I remember people talking about the Columbine shooting. It's like, it gives me shivers. Somebody tweeted out, like, it gave me shivers to think that it's not even in the top 10, worst shootings in America anymore. I'm like, wow, that's pretty crazy. And another tweet is like, I remember that we followed those kids, during the graduation, their graduation year, and then their first year of college, they kept track of the kids that were affected. And I'm like, wow, that's cool. That's cool. But then, people are like, but we're just going to bury the Florida children are probably just going to get buried by Friday. I'm like, whoa, okay, that's kind of, like, it's just, the subculture nowadays in America is, if it doesn't affect you personally, just brush it off, which, that's disgusting. No, do not have that thought process. That's a very disgusting thought process to have in general for anything. And just because, like, recent events at school that I won't bring up because it affects personal people, and I like those personal people. So, and that's none of my business to bring it up on the podcast because it doesn't have anything to really do with me. It kind of affected me because it's a close friend, all that good stuff. But it's not my really, like, I wasn't involved in it, so I have no really right to talk about it. But I'll give it a quick rundown. It's just, I remember I was talking to people about it, and it was a big old ordeal. Obviously, it should have been a big ordeal, but I followed what the person told me, and I was like, I'll do it for you. And I have my stand on it. People never really ask me for my stand, which is fine. Nobody needs to ask for my stand because why would people want to listen to what I say? But I remember. I'm not gonna name names. I remember hearing people say like, "Oh, you're just a guy. You wouldn't understand." And I'm like, "Wow, that stung to hear that." Not because I'm like, "Oh, I am a guy. I wouldn't understand." It's like, no, it's more than just a gender issue here. It's all around feeling like this hurt my friend. So obviously, I'm going to have to try and understand. Just because I'm not, the opposite gender doesn't mean, oh, I don't know what it feels like. No, I'm not, like, personally, like, whenever I'm not very, I'm comfortable with my body because, I know I'm fat, and that's fine by me, I thought about getting a side tangent, I decided after high school I'll get into a healthier shape, which I'll probably be next to, like, a supermarket that sells decent food that I can learn and make that's not like rotten or anything or rat infested. It's disgusting. Second is that high school is kind of depressing just because it's just a depressing atmosphere, and I talked to one of my friends and cousins about it, and he agreed with me that that changing a food lifestyle, or at least just like a health-wise lifestyle, like eating healthy and giving up on stuff that you love, is very depressing. So having two depressing things do not make a positive thing. It will just make things more depressing. And I was like, no, I definitely agree with you. So I'll get healthy after high school, and then I'm getting healthy for myself. I'm not getting healthy in high school because I want to show off to all the ladies what I look like underneath all this fat. It's just I want to get healthy for the future of myself. So whenever I'm like, should I eat that Big Mac, and then I'm like, yeah, I kind of worked for this a few years ago. I think I'm a little bit thin enough to eat this Big Mac, and I'll eat the Big Mac. I'm like, wow, I don't feel bad. And then I'll feel bad later because it hurts my stomach, but I won't feel bad like, oh, I just gained more weight. I'll be like, oh, this Big Mac sucks. Why did I get a Big Mac? Why didn't I get something good? Okay, back to the other tangent. A flip. I forgot what I was talking about. Oh no. Let me reverse. Oh yeah, okay. So it hurt me as a person just because I'm not your same gender, it doesn't really mean I know what this person is going through. Like I can think, like you probably don't even know what this person is going through. You're like, well, but I'm a female. Like that's yeah, you're a female, but like if you felt like this before, you should have brought it up before. You shouldn't have kept it down low, you know. So like it stung not because I'm like, wow, I am a guy. I should know what it feels like. It stung more like, you know, like I can have an opinion on this just because I'm not the same gender. You know, it's just it just made me feel like disgusted at myself just because I'm like, is this just wow? I feel like I'm being singled out just because I don't fit in this group. Like it made me feel weird, you know. It made me feel weird. It made me feel a certain type of way, and I was just like, well, I mean, and then you know what I did after that? I just brushed it off. I was like, you know what? I have my own opinion. I'll tell the people I want to hear it, and I won't tell you because you're just trying to make my opinion sound stupid, and that's fine because my opinion probably is stupid, but it's my own opinion. But more realistically, on the side of things, is that I don't let me I'll jump off this bandwagon a little bit. It's getting a little sad, you know, just a little sad. So you know, I'll just swap on over to a little bit more brighter side of things, you know. I guess I can go more into the topic of what was happening on Twitter with Bayonetta. You know, that's a pretty important topic to talk about. When it comes to Bayonetta, this involves only the Smash Brothers for Super Smash Brothers for Wii U. So you know, I love that game a lot. It's a very fun game, but the community is pretty trash. I'll say that much. Yeah, so the community is pretty garbage right now because you know, besides all this bad stuff going on, you know, I thought, you know, I can probably escape it and go onto my Twitter with all my people that I follow on Smash Brothers, you know, all the people that I look up to and all the people that I try and want to be, you know, I just love how they play the game, you know, maybe I can get away. And then all that they talked about for a straight week is about Bayonetta. I don't give a flip about Bayonetta. Let me play the game. I don't care. Do not worry about this character. If you're good enough, here's my opinion on Bayonetta. In case Bayonetta is the best character in the game. There's no possible way any other character is as good as Bayonetta. If you give me literally any other evidence that like, oh, Bayonetta is actually not the best character in the game, I think she's actually at least at worst third and at best second, but no, she is the best character in the game. I'm telling you this now. She has the game creators gave her combos. In this game, you don't get free combos. You have to make your own combo. They literally gave her a move set to where like, oh, you hit this move and you will set you up for free damage and free combos that could kill. They gave her that. I'm like, all right, that's fine. You know, that's her character. You know, that's how she is. That's how she plays. But it's okay. So recently, okay, let me give a little bit more backstory. Okay, so last weekend, I should say. There's a tournament called Frostbite, which is a very, very, very popular tournament. It's the biggest Smash 4 tournament for only Smash 4. So you know, it wasn't like, you know, Evo, which has all these other fighting games, or it wasn't like, you know, a tournament that had Melee and like Brawl or anything. It was a Smash 4 based tournament only. It was only Smash 4. I mean, there was a Rivals of Aether, but it was only a Smash 4 tournament. You know, biggest one. And the top four that made top 8, the top 4 players were in 4th place a Bayonetta, 3rd place a Bayonetta, 2nd place a Bayonetta, 1st place a Rosalina. So you know, a player named Abuzz won it with Rosalina. He plays Bayonetta, but it's kind of like a pocket Bayonetta, which means he doesn't really play it. But basically, you know, 3 Bayonettas made top 8. You know, I was just like, I kind of expected Bayonetta to take over after a while, but you know, I was just like, it was a fun tournament. I loved watching it. You know, Bayonetta, whenever Bayonettas fight each other, Bayonetta Dittos are fun to watch, you know. But Smash Twitter blew up about it. I don't know what happened. They blew up in like the past like. They blew up like all week, but like Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Thursday and Friday were like tipping points. I don't know what happened. You know, I didn't go on Twitter Thursday because I was doing homework and I was sleeping. You know, I was doing other things. I wasn't on Twitter. You know, I was playing Smash. You know, I wasn't tweeting. I was playing Smash. I was practicing for an upcoming tournament in like June that I'll talk about like really quickly after. It's not that big of a deal, but you know, the tournament in June, you know, I was practicing, I was getting ready, I was like, all right, I think this will work. And then, you know, I checked on Friday, and then I'm like, it's so what? No, like it's okay. In my opinion on Bayonetta is she's the best character in the game. I get that. Should she be banned? She should not be banned. You know, they didn't. Meta Knight is the most broken character in Smash history, in my opinion. It's the most broken character in Smash history. He literally had a move to where if you do it, he disappears from the game forever until you decide to let go of it. If that's not broken, I don't know what it is. But they left Meta Knight in, and of course there's other characters like Ice Climbers. You know, if they grab you, they get an instant kill as long as they don't mess up the grab link. You know, that's fine. But besides they having an insta kill, they were a bad character in my opinion. You know, probably not as much in Brawl. They had some stuff. Anyway, So they never banned Brawl Meta Knight just because all the top players played Meta Knight, and if they knew they banned top players would not go to their events because they wouldn't win. And by them not going to their events, that means other players won't go to their events because they're going to go meet the top players and to go play the top players, which play Meta Knight. You know, like a large margin of players played Meta Knight, the most broken character in Smash history, and they never banned it. Some tournaments banned it, but there was never an official rule set. And it was just a big old mess. But at the end of the day, Bayonetta was still a character. I mean, Meta Knight was still a character. Now, in Bayonetta's been out for about... she came out in 2016, so she's been out for... Actually, I think 2 years now. I think February was when Bayonetta came out. Like, February... somewhere around February, so I think we already passed her 2-year anniversary of her being in Smash, and she was a busted character when she first came out. And then they nerfed her. And you know what? She was a good character. No changes have been made since the Bayonetta patch. 1.1.6 since then. No changes. They nerfed Bayonetta, and she's still a good character. Which, fine. You know, they made sure that you could not get 0 to deaths from any moment. But you can still get 0 to deaths with Bayonetta. But you have to work for them more now. Which is fine, you know. That's cool. But the thing that bothers me the most about the Bayonetta bans is the top players and their opinions. You know, I'm not a top player. In June, the tournament in June, I'm gonna give it my 110% to make top 8, so I can have an opinion on Twitter and I can have followers, so I can give my own opinion on Smash. Because Smash Wii U is dying, not because of Bayonetta, but because people want a Switch. Once the Switch version comes out, nobody's gonna care about Smash 4. I'm pretty sure it's just gonna be like a deluxe edition with, you know, new characters, maybe Ice Climbers, you know, maybe Wolf might come back, you know, Inklings, new characters, new stages. They're gonna combine 3DS and all. It's just gonna be a better version, you know. That fine. I'm cool with that. But the biggest but is that people don't really, top players with the Bayonetta topic do not care about your opinions unless you're another top player. So, you know, I saw a pretty good opinion on somebody's Twitter. I'm not gonna go look for it because I was bored, but they gave a good opinion on Bayonetta, and then just one of the Bayonetta mains basically just said, "No, that opinion sucks because you're not a top player." I'm like, "What? You can't use that logic. What? They gave you a good opinion, and you basically just told them, no, you're not good like me, so I'm not gonna listen." That's what? That doesn't make any sense. And like, oh my, it's infuriating. All the Bayonetta mains are infuriating me because, you know, one of them, being Tweak, the fifth best player in the world, I think, like, he knows what he's talking about. Another Bayonetta main, the second best player in the world, and probably current best player, no, probably not, based on recent results, but currently ranked the second best player in the world, because the first ranked player in the world, named Zero, he plays Diddy Kong, retired from competitive Smash until a new Smash comes out, or until he feels like he should play the game again, because he lost interest in competing. Not the game in general, but just competing. He lost his drive. That makes me sad. Zero, I love you. Anyway, he signed my controller. That's the only signature I have on my controller. I'm very happy about it. Anyway, but they just give awful opinions. Like, a lot of people that are trying to get Bayonetta banned give kind of good opinions. Like, they give like the 2 cents. They give like frame data. They give advantages. Recent results, past results. They give good reasons why you should ban Bayonetta. Should they ban her? No, she's fine. Should they ban Double Cloud and Double? No, it's fine. But but Bayonetta, all that they're basically telling people in their responses are like why they shouldn't ban Bayonetta is just just get good. What logic is there to say that? Who in their right mind would, if Usain Bolt, one of the fastest men alive, if I went up to him and if I told him, I see how you stretch and you stretch pretty good, but there's probably a much more comfortable way for you to stretch so that you don't strain yourself too much. I'm pretty sure Usain Bolt would at least listen to me. He would at least be like, "Alright, kid, I'll show me," and I'll show him, and he'd either be like, "Yeah, that looks alright. I'll try it every now and then," or he'd be like, "No, I stick to my regimen." I'll be like, "Okay, well, at least you listen to my opinion. Thank you," and I'll leave, and I'll be like, "Alright, he can do what he wants because he's doing fine right now by his own." But give him an opinion. But if I went up to him and if I told him that, and if he basically just told me, go away, kid. He drank Gatorade. He spat it in my face. He grabbed one of his gold medals. He hit me in the face with it, and then he just called security on me. What logic is behind there? None. So when Bayonetta mains are just on Twitter complaining about people complaining about them, I would complain too, because a lot of the Bayonetta mains give zero good feedback. I tweak the one that recently became a Bayonetta. He dropped Cloud for Bayonetta. He dropped the second best character in the game for the first best character in the game, which I'm like, fine, cool. He literally just said in his tweet, like, I don't care what anybody. He basically just said get good. He basically just said get good with knowledge everybody already knows. It's what, like, I don't want Bayonetta banned, but these Bayonetta mains are not giving me a good reason to agree with them as to why she shouldn't get banned. I know, just SDI. You can't give the same answers every time. You know your character better than anybody else because you're the only one that puts time into it. So give us good reasons why we shouldn't ban your character. Don't be such a flippin' meanie about it. Like, don't be a dick. That's all that it is. Just be. If you know your character's busted, just say, yeah, my character's busted, but you can beat it. Because, have you seen any Bayonettas win any of these recent tournaments? No, you just see Bayonettas placing higher. But do they win it? No. That's a good enough. I'd be like, well, 7 of the 8 players that made top 8 are Bayonetta mains, but Bayonetta didn't win the tournament. I'd be like, that's a good fair point. Just because more people play Bayonetta just makes it much more likely for more Bayonettas to make top 8. But if they're not winning, you can't really say that she's broken, because if she wins everything, that's a different story, because that just means, she is the best character in the game, and she always wins, so maybe we should actually discuss a ban. But if you literally just give no solid reasons as to why we shouldn't ban Bayonetta, then I don't expect your character to survive any longer in this community that just hate her. And I play Bayonetta every night. I play Bayonetta for fun. Bayonetta's a fun character to play. I never touched her once until recently, so I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna play Bayonetta, not to main her, but so I can figure out her combos, so I can get used to them, so I can know how to get out and how they start. I play her for, data for my own personal gain, and she's fun to play. I think she's a really fun character to play. Will I ever play in a tournament? No, because that's mean. It's like, I love playing Cloud, but will I play Cloud in tournament? Probably not, because I don't want to be that guy that shows up to a tournament, plays a low tier hero, and then just goes a top tier and just destroys them, and then everybody's gonna hate me. You know, I'm not about that. You know, but I'm mad at the players that play Bayonetta, not because they play Bayonetta, just because they don't know how to argue why we shouldn't ban Bayonetta. I think I've said Bayonetta so many times in this video. I think I've said Bayonetta so many times that like people are probably like, what the heck is Bayonetta? Bayonetta is basically just a witch that has guns, and it's oh my, it's so infuriating to see where this community is at, because it's just at a split standstill. Should we ban a character or not? If you're not good enough to beat the character, then you're not good enough to play the game. That's my opinion. If I can't beat Bayonetta's, then obviously I'm not good enough to win a tournament, you know? So if you can't beat, you know, if you complain about losing to some random Bayonetta main in pools and you get upset, it's not because she's a broken character, it's because you're not good enough to beat some random Bayonetta. That's my opinion on the matter. She should not be banned. Does she deserve a nerf? In a way, she kind of does deserve a nerf. Probably less damage and less knockback on her aerials, just based on how early she can kill. But besides that, she's fine how she is, you know. In my opinion, she's fine how she is, you know. That's my opinion on this topic. It just gets me so irritated. Like, I don't even like. I'm like in a couple of minutes, I'm gonna sign up for a tournament in June, and hopefully Kane, you know, if you let Kane, hit me up. You know, if you need me to pay for you, I don't mind. You know, I wanna go have a fun time with my friend Kane. You know, I just wanna have a fun time. But I don't even think by the time we get there in June, I don't know. This podcast is ending in May, so you know, I'm ending this podcast, but I'll probably bring up another podcast or something so I can tell you guys about my experience at the tournament. And you know what? I'll keep you guys updated with that tournament whenever it happens in June 1st to the 3rd, DreamHack Austin. Yeah. But anyway, guys, yeah. So this is kind of like a half and half podcast. In the first half, I talked about serious matters that happened and how, you know, how I feel about some things that's been going on in my life, and you know, the other half is about Smash, which is another thing that's a big part of my life, you know. So yeah, so I hope you guys did enjoy this solo cast. I love doing them. Like, now that I think about it, like the first few I was very scared. I'm like, oh, they don't want to hear me, but I just love talking just because I can rant about Bayonetta and gun control and not being a different gender, you know, just stuff like that. That's fun to talk about, you know. Yeah, so you know, I think that wraps it up for this podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening. You know, we're getting closer to the end. You know, I don't like saying that every time, but since it's a solo cast and it's just me just talking, you know, I might as well just mention it, that, you know, this podcast may be coming to an end, but you know, there's some bright things in the future. Just keep an eye out for them. You know, I promise. You know, other stuff will come out that will probably be better than you listening to me. Maybe I might release something that you can listen to me, but it's not 30 minutes, it's like 5 minutes. You know, that seems like an improvement in my opinion. But anyway, thank you guys always for listening to these podcasts. I love every single one of you. You know, thank you for supporting this podcast. That means a lot to me. And I guess I'll see you guys next week with a guest. Hopefully this guest is going to work out. If not, we'll come back with a regular guest. But hopefully I get a new guest on. Hopefully. But as always, guys, hope you guys had a good week, and I hope you guys have an even better week next week. So I'll see you guys next Saturday. Bye.